Hi everyone. Good evening. Please, if you're in already and you can hear me, hi everyone, and you can hear me, please indicate in the comment section that you can hear me. Yay. Okay. We're having people join us. We're having people join us. Please go and inform other people that the community gist has started. Inform them that we're here to gist. We're not here to do slides. We're not here to do presentation. We're here to gist about project management. Hi, Chi Sky. I can see you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Please inform others that we've started already so that we will not keep our speaker waiting. If you're here from TikTok, please indicate that you are here from TikTok. If you're here from TikTok, just say one thing you know me for from TikTok. So I will know that yes, you're an OG. You sure do know me from TikTok. Tell us also where you're joining from. Where are you joining from? And we're going to be kickstarting by exactly 10 minutes past 5. So let's just use this time to get acquainted and wait for the others to join as well. So let's go and hold our orders. Yes, the community gist has started. Before I present to you our speaker of the day, which you all know already. That's if you're here from TikTok, you know our speaker of the day already. Okay. All right. Hi everyone, we're back and we're starting now. Hi Sarah, you're welcome. Hi Faima, you're welcome. Kinika says she's from DM's comment. You're welcome. Hi Ade Bawo, you're welcome. Hi Amina, you're welcome. Oh, you're joining from TikTok. You're welcome. You guys are welcome. I believe that a lot of you already know me by now. My name is Cynthia Ejikeme. More to introduce myself, I am your project manager who is always working on life projects. That's if you're joining from TikTok, you already know this, right? But if you're joining from LinkedIn, yeah, my name is Cynthia Ejikeme, and this is one of my monthly webinars. Last month's on was cool, right? We learned a lot from last month on, which was on certifications. But for this month, I'm like, no, you can't hear anything. Please check your network. Can anybody else hear me? Emanuela said she can't hear anything. Can anybody else hear me? Okay, okay. So this is one of my monthly webinars. The one for next month, you guys don't even want to miss it. And it's going to be happening here on YouTube henceforth till forever and ever. It's going to be happening here on YouTube. Okay. The one for August, you guys don't, the person I'm bringing for next month and August is they're amazing. And the one of today, ah, ah, our speaker for today, like I told you guys earlier, we're not here to do slides. No, we're not here to talk about certifications. No, we talked about certifications last month. This month, we're here to do gists. We're here to discuss. We're here to talk. All those things that people don't talk about online. You know, when people give you, oh, it's good to be on in UK, move to UK, move to UK. A lot of things are good. We are here to find out from an amazing person if yes those things are true or not, and then her own opinion on how things are as well in the UK. And I believe that if you're a project manager or if you're working in project management, you should be able to be planning on Japan, that kind of a thing. That kind of a thing, right? Because if you're in Nigeria, you know that yeah, things don't really go as much as we want it in this country, right? So everybody is making plans. But then, out of curiosity, right, I decided to bring this topic to us this time around. I decided to make it a topic, right? Because a lot I've been hearing a lot of things. Friends have been telling me, Cynthia, what are you doing in Nigeria? This one, that one. I'm like, no, I need to hear from someone that I know that will give unfiltered truth. Someone I know that have been sharing her journey, her story, her truth. Like she doesn't mince words. She'll just tell you as it is on TikTok. I need to bring that person on board so that we can hear, okay, how are things? What are things? How are things like? What is the story behind all these things that people are talking about? That is what we are here to talk about today. So it's more like a gist. If you have questions, I heard some persons were asking me on TikTok if they can ask questions. Please, yes, you can ask questions. Okay. If you have any questions at all you need to do is for you to just type your questions in the comment section. I will definitely see it, unless you don't have questions. And I doubt you will not have questions. I highly doubt that in today's webinar, in today's event, that you will not have questions. You will definitely have questions. That's if you pay attention and if you're highly interested in what is going on. Right. So I'm going to be bringing on board. Can we guess the speaker first of all? I know you guys have seen the flyer, right? But let's guess the speaker. Just type in the comment section. If you know the speaker, if you know the speaker down to TikTok, just say something about the speaker. Say something about the speaker that just happened of recent. Just say anything about the speaker that happened of recent, and I'll know that yes, you're an OG. You know the speaker. Let's go. Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it in the comment section, guys. nobody knows the speaker. Yeah, someone says, see me, she got engaged. Okay, 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 okay. Let's hear from other people as well. Okay. Simi, she's an agile delivery manager who just got engaged. Okay. Uh-uh. You people are OG. Oh. Yeah, you people are OGs. Uh-uh. You people are OGs. I'm telling you, you people are OGs. You people are Baba. Oh. You people just they follow, they know. So you people are playing trends like this. You people are updated. That's what I was saying. You people are updated. You're up to date. That's amazing. Yes, you guys are correct. I'm bringing on board today. Let's leave the fact that yes, she just got engaged, which is amazing, right? She's an agile delivery manager, right? And if you know her from TikTok, you'll know that she has always been saying it. She has always been saying it that yes, I'm an agile delivery manager. And one of the things I love about her is that she will tell you that if you don't have anything else to motivate you, let her journey, let her story be your motivation. If you go through her page and you're not motivated, I don't know. Maybe you need prayers. Maybe you need prayers, right? So her journey motivates her story, her as a person. If I'm just scrolling on TikTok and I just hear Simi's voice, I know that no, this is Simi. I must watch that video from the beginning to the end before I move past. As even if I'm busy, I will just go and save it and then go back and watch it later. That's how an amazing person she is because you know that every single time she comes on board, every single time she picks up her phone to record, she's dishing out value. She's saying something amazing. That's just, and I'm like, okay, since everybody have been telling me UK this, UK that, let me bring, so I know that, yeah, see me someone that is in UK as well, and she's currently working in UK, and she has been sharing her journey with us on TikTok for a while. Okay, I think she's the best person for me to bring on board for this thing. And I also know that yes, 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 yes. Simi is also a yapper. She's a yapper like me. Oh, if you have not been joining her live on TikTok, you're missing out. I'm telling. Let me give you guys this before I bring her on board. If you're not joining her live on TikTok, yeah, miss, go and just follow her on TikTok. Go on TikTok and follow Simi, and then try to. If there's any way you can turn on your post notification or anything, turn it on. Anytime she goes on live, you'll get notified. Join that live. She's always dishing out something in her life every time. Sometimes you'll be like, is there any question? But she's just telling you as it is, like she's just dishing out knowledge and all that. And these things are things that you cannot buy from a course. They are not in courses. That's the truth. These things are not in courses. They are not in trainings. You get it's from experience. She's telling you from her own personal experience what she has discovered from the industry, from project management in general. So if you're not joining, you're missing out. But well, before you go and join the TikTok live, welcome on board for this particular one because I'm bringing her on board now. Okay, guys. So now let's give it up for our speaker in the building. Please let me get some fire emoji in the comment section. I need fire emoji, guys. Thank you so much, Timmy, for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. When I thought of this topic, I'm like, who do I bring on board for this topic? And you were just clicking on like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm so grateful and so happy that yes, you keyed in because I used to get no's when it comes to events like this. I will reach out to people and they'll tell me that no, I don't think
Oh,
I'll do it. I don't think I'll do it. Especially in project management, because we don't usually have project managers who are outspoken like that. We have project managers who work. They are good at their job. They are really good, but when it comes to events and speaking events, they shy away from it. I don't really know why, but so the few ones who accept and say, okay, yes, I'm doing this with you, I really, really always appreciate it. So thank you so much for doing this with me. You're
you're
welcome.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was lovely being it's lovely being here as well. I'm looking forward to this
Yeah.
session and how many times. Thank you.
You guys keep the fire emojis coming, please, and invite others as well. If your friend is not here, share the link to your friend for your friend to join immediately ASAP. Because we're about to kick in and your friend is about to miss. That's the truth. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much, guys. So let's get our pen and papers ready. Okay. Our topic for today in the event is the realities of being a project manager in the UK. That's the topic. Realities of being a project manager in the UK. Someone was asking me, what's your motivation for this particular topic? And I will still say it again. I've been having people tell me, oh, life in the UK is better. Life in the UK will favor you as a project manager with this thing that you're doing in Nigeria, like this, somebody is paying you, this one, that one. So I'm like, okay, okay. If you say it's like that, I would also love to hear those things that you guys are not telling us because it can't
Mhm.
be all about the pay. The pay cannot just be the catch. Yeah, I know they pay well, right? But the pay cannot just be the catch. No, there are other things as well. So let us hear from you now. So I would love to have your take on the topic generally before I go into some questions as well. So when you first saw the topic, what did you think about?
I was like, okay, this is nice. It's a really good initiative because people need to know the realities of actually working abroad as an immigrant, as a black person, working in a very different country. Although we speak the same language, we all speak English because things are different and all is not as it seems. It's very exciting. Obviously, the pay is good and everything, but there are still certain areas where culture shock and all of the things that you still need to adjust to coming into a new country. But I was really excited. I'm like, okay, this is something that I would love to talk about because people need to see the reality of things. Yes, there is the glamorous bit, which there is a lot of glamorous bits, but there's so much in there in the corporate world that if you wouldn't know until you start to experience it or when you get into the system. So yeah, I'm like, oh, this is good. It'll be eye opening. I'm not to discourage anyone from trying or making that move, but it's just to let them know that it's not all roses.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. From what you just said now, I think that will bring us to our first question, which is you mentioned the culture shock, right? So the first question would be how different is the work culture from what we are used to in Nigeria? So in
Yeah.
Nigeria, we have a certain type of work culture that we are used to. Things are not really that structured and organized in some departments, in some they are, but what is the difference? Like you've worked in Nigeria and you're working in UK now. So what would you say is the difference?
So I would say like the major difference. I would let me highlight a really good one is that in Nigeria there is no proper code structure when it comes to working environments. Although you do have a start and end time, everything is wishy washy. You don't know who to go to for what. You don't know what the placement of this is. People just do whatever they want and just run businesses anyhow. Even in the most like established companies, you still kind of see a bit of wishy washy there. It's just I think the kind of I don't know the way we are. I think we just do anywhere anything goes. We just do it like that. But here there is a lot of structure in place. You know who the go-to person is for this and for that, and also the company already has laws and things like that you need to just conform to basic structure and things like that. Another thing is we're going on laws right now is there are laws that are guiding people here when it comes to employment, dismissal, and things like that. Working outside what you're being contracted to do, your managers can be asking you to do that. The moment they tell you to do that, you can file a lawsuit on one thing, or you can start to complain, bring it up with HR, bring it up with your manager, write them an email like, I don't like what's going on. This is not how it's supposed to be. You express it.
Wow.
Exactly. You can say there's freedom of speech, and there is really freedom of speech. So when they're asking you to do more than you've been contracted to do, telling you to work out of office hours, you have the right to say no, I'm not doing it. Like you've contracted me to work 9 to 5, I'm not doing till 5:30. And if people work 5:30, 6 o'clock, they buy that time back. The next day they resume late. Yes, so it's
Wow.
like yeah, there is a lot of structure in place and there's a lot of laws guiding employees. I remember there was a day I worked and I did not leave until like 8:30. My manager was like, Simi, take all those hours. Don't start early tomorrow. If you think you want to take like a half day off or do something, go ahead and do it. When it comes to being sick, no one is messaging you on your sick bed and telling you when next are you coming to work. All they're telling you is take your time, relax, let's know how you're doing and things like that. But the only thing will be probably okay, bring doctor's reports when you're ready. They can't just sack you because you're sick and you couldn't attend work for a month. there is a lot of things in place for you to be able to relax. So there's laws are guiding you. There's a bit of, I think, humanity as well. As much as we be like, oh, we Nigerians are nice people, I think maybe it's because of the laws that we put. There's a lot of humanity in place here. When people hear you're not feeling well, they genuinely care. They want to, even if it's fake or it's like, but at least they show that they are very genuinely care about you, and not just what you bring to the job and things like that. So I would say there's a little bit of a difference in that area, mostly around the laws that covers you as an employee. Your employers can't do any, your managers cannot boss you around. Obviously, we all call our managers by name here. There is no Mr., there is no anything. Everybody is the same. Obviously.
I think for that one, the first time I worked for a company outside Nigeria, I was
Mhm.
like, "Hello, sir," and they said the man actually thought I had an alternative plan against him because I was like calling him sir, sir, sir. He was like, "Do you have anything? Any? Are you guys making any plans against?" I'm like, "No." So why are you not calling me by my name? It was a shock to me actually the first time. It was a really shock to me. Like, call me by my name. I don't know why you. So he felt like I was being extra nice because I
Nice.
wanted something.
Something.
Yes, yeah, he felt like I was just doing
Wow.
too much because, well, here you can't just walk to the office and call your boss by their name in
No,
Nigeria.
not at
You
all.
can't do
Like,
that.
I remember like when we first, obviously, you guys know my story, that I was working in healthcare. So that was my first job when I came into this country that I had to pick. And when I was working there, I was surprised when people were calling their managers, oh, Paul, Paul. I'm like, Paul? I'm like, it's not Mr. Paul, or like, so I was quite, so I even asked the lady, I'm like, oh, you just call him by his name? I'm like, yeah, like, that's how we do here. We call them by their names. I was like, well, and the funny thing is, to even call them by their name became really difficult for me, because I was like, how can I call my manager by his name? But it's something that I've had to learn and unlearn. And sometimes I think, obviously, a bit of the culture shock as well is that, in Nigeria, there's very much respect. We respect those that are older than us. And then getting into the professional space,
Yes.
you're number one, maybe you're a lady or something, and then you're working with people that are very, very, they're way older than you. And you're thinking, oh my God, I need to be very respectful when I'm speaking to them. Is on learning that no, you are in a professional space. It doesn't really matter how old they are. If you need to be blunt, cutthroat, say it exactly how you need to, because the moment you start to become nice or too naive, they will also, the same way they will trample upon you back home, they will do the same here. They would not respect you because they feel you don't have backbone. So you always need to be very assertive, very like, this is what I told you to do, or this is how it needs to be, and be matter of fact. So I would say those are the tiny, tiny bits and pieces of culture shock that I kind of that happened. I think I noticed when I first got here, but with time you start to learn the ways of the land, and you start to act like that too.
Okay. Okay. Um, I would say it's quite different from what we have here. It's very, very different from what we have here. Was it easy for you to adjust when you landed, or did it take you time to adjust?
I would say like I would okay. When I was working in healthcare, it wasn't that much difference, because it wasn't like I was working in the corporate setting where there were a lot of bosses and things like that, or people were wearing suits. Healthcare was more like just wear top and trouser and just go. There was nothing really fancy about it. But did I face a bit of bullying? Yes, from those older people, and also a bit of the fact that you're, obviously, I'm African, and they got to know that I'd only just come into the country a couple of months ago. So
Oh,
they are, yeah, so the way that they treated me or the way they spoke was very weird. The random stupid questions that they asked me. Do you know how to use an iron? Do you know how to, it was just very, if I'd known my
so
rights.
they thought because you're African, you're from the
Oh,
bush.
definitely, definitely. If I'd known what I know now, that lady, she would have been sued. I would have sued her, and I would have sued the company. All of them joined. But even mentioning anything, I would have said harassment, racial profile. I would have said everything all joined. But I didn't know as much as I know now. So yeah, there was some weird questions and things that were being said, or the treatment as well when I was working in healthcare was really bad. I think it was me and a particular, I had this other black guy that was working with me from Ghana, and they used to put like all the mania chores like washing car, like what else did they used to say? Washing of car, washing of one other thing like that. They used to put it whenever it was just me and the guy that was working, and they would never do that when it was them or their other people that were working. So that was very weird to me. And my ex-partner was a very strong-headed person and was like, no, you don't allow that. You need to talk back to them and tell them no. Like it's not. So it was very funny. We had a whole confrontation, and I'm not the most outspoken person, but this country pulled out the shyness in me, and I need to, because if you don't speak for yourself here, people would people would trample on you. They would treat you anyhow. Plus, different country, different everything. So there's you will may face a bit of bullying, a bit of even a bit of racial profiling here and there. And funny enough, even in the corporate space, it would happen. People create assumptions of you before they even meet you. So
Even me too.
yeah, everybody has like a warped sense in their head of what they think you would be like or how they think you would behave. So it's just you now getting there and trying to there's a lot that comes with being an African or a
It,
black woman.
it's just as if they have a prototype or a type a stigma already for
Yeah,
everybody who is black. So
yeah,
you now have to prove and prove and prove that you're
yeah,
not like this.
exactly. Exactly. So
That's
you feel
bad.
like it's quite bad. So it's the part where you need to prove, and whether it is subconsciously or consciously, you need to prove to show them that, oh, I am actually smarter than you may think, or I can actually do this. And with you sometimes overdoing what you've even been called to do, like
Asked to
you're
do.
exactly. So you're just like constantly trying to prove yourself. And let's not talk about the language, is the context switching. Sometimes and you see sometimes I'll be like, look at this person that is from France. She's French. She obviously has an accent, which is French accent. She will talk
Yeah.
anyhow. She doesn't care. She doesn't need to try and conform and sound like a European person, or she doesn't need to start trying to sound like she's English. She just speaks with the old accent. She says it anyhow. She doesn't care. If you like, pick it. If you don't pick it, ask me again. But we try to fit in so well and try to speak that, trying to make our English sound so much like theirs, because number one, we want to
Like
be as
then we change our
oh,
intonation with
yeah,
every single thing
everything.
immediately.
Oh, yes. Yes, we sound like them because we want to be accepted. Number two, because we don't want them to see the difference too much. We want to be able to blend in easily. So it's very much a lot of it is subconscious, and we just do it sometimes without even noticing that we are doing the way you're speaking when you're with
Indians
your
don't act that way.
no, they don't. They don't even. If you like, don't understand though. If you like, don't ask me again. I'll say it again. If you don't understand, no, but they don't care. They speak it with the accent. They just do it. They don't try to make it better for you. Figure it out. So yeah,
Wow.
it's just one of those things.
We have a lot to go through actually, and we have a lot to learn too. And I think
Mhm.
this will also help some persons here or some persons who will watch it as well to prepare their mind in future, not thinking that oh, everything is green. Everything
Yeah.
is sometimes it cannot be that way too. So I have
Mhm.
the second question, right? The second question is what are the silent struggles people don't talk about online when it comes to being a project manager in the UK?
Okay, so I'll say one of the silent struggles that a lot of us don't really talk about. It would be with a lot of it would be maybe working within the corporate space again, as I said. One of it is the how do I say it? The need to always over deliver. You always want to over deliver. You want to make sure that everything is on point because you feel like you need to prove yourself. And one of those things, sometimes you end up burning out because you're doing too much. You are like constantly you're sleeping and you're thinking about work. You're cooking and you're thinking about, oh, that thing I need to do tomorrow, because it feels like you always need to be at a 10 every single time and not give yourself room to relax because you're scared that there may just be somebody out there who is better than you, and forgetting that you got the job because of your skills and how good you are in the first place. So I'll say that's one of the realities. Another thing is getting a job in project management as an immigrant, irrespective of, let's say you've been working as a project manager in Nigeria for the past 10 years of your life and you come in here, is different. I know some people who have been struggling to get a job since they came here and they have extensive skills working in project management. But the reason is because they don't have the UK work experience. and a lot of
Oh,
companies.
sorry. There is UK work experience and there is other work experiences. Is that what
Oh yeah,
you mean?
because they've not worked in the UK, so it's showing that every single
Oh,
job that they've done is abroad. If it was maybe US abroad or France abroad, totally fine. But if it's Nigeria abroad,
Nigeria abroad.
Ghana abroad, Zimbabwe abroad, that may not look very very good. That's the thing. Except if the person was maybe scouted, maybe they saw this person as
Mm,
amazing. Wow, this is good. Then they will scout you and then obviously sort the whole thing. But if it's a thing whereby you is a lot more difficult, and now we just advise a lot of people now that if the company you worked for was in Nigeria, just take it out, take Nigeria out completely from your CV,
see.
because
Oh,
most
wow.
times, yeah, number one, don't forget that Nigeria already has a stigma of its own, so they may even think
Yeah,
your
yeah.
application, everything you
A
put is
scammer.
fraudulent. Exactly. So even the unconscious bias, I think that's what they call it, where they just see your CV and like, oh my god, the certificate. Oh,
Nigeria.
oh, we don't even need to talk about it. That's the, so it happens. It happens. It's just one of those sad things that happen. So anyone that come, I tell them, just take the country. Nobody needs to know. Take it away. And luckily, you'll be lucky and blessed if that company sounds foreign. You God bless. Let's say you work for like Deloitte or Interswitch. At least these guys, Shell, these guys are in Nigeria already, so they won't even know where it's from. But imagine someone that worked for, let me try and look for a name like Unique Unico and Sons Limited or Kenny Auto Dealership, and they were, and the thing is that these guys actually know the job. It's just that that's what it is. They wouldn't call them. They'll be like, "I beg, this person is not skilled enough. Is not." They just it's just that unconscious bias. Another thing is the names on the CV. They can see the name. If the name is looking like not one single English name on this thing, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg.
Wow. So this name of a thing is also a thing because
Oh
I
yeah,
think that was a
oh
struggle
yeah,
I had. And I had to coin out from my name is really long, maybe Cynthia Chidochukwu is really long. And then I had someone tell me then that I should just make it short, two words. Cynthia
yeah,
Ije, so it will be easier for them. So anytime they see they just call you Cynthia. And I'm like,
yeah.
why? He said if you are aiming to work for foreign companies, make your name pronouncing of your name easy for them. Once they find it
But that's
difficult, they feel like
but that's bad. That's the one
that's
thing. But if
exactly
you
you get
French person
exactly.
or a Russian person or a Ukrainian was also
They
applying
answer
for
their names.
exactly. They don't change their names. They don't cut their name short for anybody. They put it the way it is. Everybody can learn to pronounce Czechoslovakia. Okay? But what's different? What's hard in knowing how to pronounce Ejikeme? They can call Czechoslovakia. What's the name of that country? I don't know what it's called. They can easily say it. So what's different? What's difficult in saying Ejikeme or something? So it's just quite sad. It's another unconscious bias. I just saw a lady's post on TikTok when she was saying that a company she was working for before, they did an interview, and a Nigerian guy, she said the guy was amazing. That when the guy left, that they were like, "Oh my god, this guy is so brilliant." And she told so I talked to the Ironman like, "He's getting the job, right? Like I can't see anyone topping him." The guy was like, "Yeah, he was amazing, but we can't give him the job." Reason being that his surname will not be easy for American business partners to actually
Are you
pronounce his
serious?
name. Yeah, so she's like, she now said, "Oh, I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this in 2025 because I know it's really sad, but if you have an English name, make it your first name. Unfortunately, make it your first name because that's just what it is. That's what the market is saying right now. Some people are changed. People say when they change their names on LinkedIn, they are getting a lot more recruiters reach out to them. And I'm like, this is really sad. But that is the reality that we have to deal with working here and then getting a job. So, everyone is just trying to see what works in the system because at the end of the day, nobody's chased you that you should come and stay in their country. You don't say, oh, I want to
I
come
want
and
to
live.
come to your country.
You have to deal with the way it is because there is only so much you can change. You ever carry placard and be screaming up and down, what will happen? No? So you just have to deal with it and
True.
see how you can just maneuver and make your way out of it because there are a lot of people who have made it here. And there's nothing, keep going and keep trying until we get there too.
Right. Ah, that's so sad, honestly. It is sad. So we have a follow-up question from African Stars. African Star says, is it difficult to get the project management positions as well when you have gotten a master's from one of the British universities as well?
Yes, it is. Because if you tell you how many MSc project management graduates are in my DMs as well, yeah, yeah, a lot of them. I'm
Oh
currently
wow.
running a program, and a lot of them, I'll say maybe 10 out of the 20 people there are MSc graduates of project management, and they've been struggling to get a job. So, yes, it is difficult
Wow.
because there are two things they need to contend with. First off, is even though they already have an MSc, it's like school knowledge is not real life knowledge. And then I don't know, maybe they need to update the module because I saw the module and I was asking what they taught them. It doesn't really sound very current with what is currently going on. I said, did they teach you guys about Scrum? She said, they touched on Scrum, but they didn't go deep. I'm like, how would they not go deep on Scrum when Agile is
Like
literally what everyone is doing
what
right now?
is doing right now?
Like everyone is agile, and if you're doing agile, you obviously need to know Scrum. I'm like, okay.
Scrum.
When it came to, I said, did they show you people how to write a project plan? Do you have a template, like anything like that? But so I feel like the maybe they need to look at the module of the training again. But the thing is, you obviously you need sponsorship is on one thing. Getting a job that would sponsor you, even with your MSc thing. Second is the experience. So if anyone, I would say experience beats your MSc. Like me now, I don't have an MSc. I only have one degree, my bachelor's degree in history. And now, maybe after, I don't know, maybe 2 years time, I can say, let me just go and do MSc just for bragging rights. But I'd rather just do certifications instead because they carry more weight than MSc.
Than
In
MSc.
yeah, they carry more weight than MSc, and it's accrediting that you're actually a master of one thing. So I would rather just go to certification than wasting my time pursuing an MSc career. So even if you do MSc, it doesn't guarantee that you get a job. Some companies offer graduate programs, which is very competitive. You may be able to get in that way, or while you are doing your MSc, start doing a lot of volunteer opportunities to actually start gathering experience. So by the time you step out, you have legs to stand on. You don't just have only MSc as your experience in
As
project
your
management.
experience. Okay, okay. Okay, guys, this is the time. If you have more questions, drop your questions, general questions based on the realities of being a project manager in UK. Drop your questions in the comment section and I would ask the question. Okay? That is it. So I have another question, right? Before we move on to our last question for the day out of the three questions for this event. And the question is, I know for sure that in in Nigeria, there's this thing they say entry level roles. Some entry level roles, project coordinator, project support, and all those type of things. They don't really much apply in this country that
Okay,
much. If you're looking for a job in in the Nigerian work system, right, and you're looking for project support, the requirement for a project support is more like someone that has 10 years experience. They require you
whoa,
to have some certifications. They require you to have this. They require you to have that. They will tell you 5 years experience, 4 years experience, 3 years experience for project support, for
wow,
project coordinator, those type of things, right? And
wow,
I think that is where the startup system comes in. That's why people are now more like deciding to work more with startup because
yeah,
startups require lesser than these
yeah.
companies require, right? So, and I want to ask now, is it the same with UK, or is it more like if you have 0 to 3 years experience, you can apply for a project manager role? You definitely apply for project support or um any entry level role.
Okay, so with that one, I would say it's two ways. There are some project support jobs that you will see that even the way they are writing is they want you to have at least 3 years experience. And there are some that would I know there was one I filled out with somebody yesterday, and they just said even if you're doing be like you're not even asking for a serious degree. They say even if it's like what do they call this thing, GCSE
Any
that you
relate? Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, they were like, even if it's GCSE, like secondary, say at least have your GCSE. They're not asking for years and years of experience. They even said, oh, if you have experience managing like school events, festivals, school parties, and things like that. But it was a project coordinator role as well. So there are some that you will see that are very much beginner friendly. There are some that they want you to have at least 3 years experience. But the thing is, people kind of miss it because everyone feels like they don't have experience, and I believe that everyone has experience. If you're especially if you're going for a beginner role, you do have experience. Imagine if you've gone for MSc 1 year. I feel like your 1 year has already even compressed into 3 years experience. First off, your day-to-day life and whatever job you were doing, you just need to find a way to tailor it to your CV, and then that would help you stand out. So if a job is saying 3 years experience, you've done MSc 1 year, you already, that's even to me is that's like 1.5 years experience already. Whatever role you were doing previously, find a way to think about it and tailor it to project management, and then put that as your, what do you want to call it, your experience. So you can, that way you already have 2 years or at least 3 years experience, and apply for your entry level roles and just go from there. Because I do believe that yes, the years you spent in university, that one too is experience, because your university degree itself is a project. Now
Okay.
when you get all the acid strike and all of those things, that's a massive project, or plenty project delays, deadline shifting up and down. So yeah, so to me,
I think that's why I always tell people to understand your transferable skills, because a lot of people think that they don't have experience at all being a project manager, but all your life you've been managing projects. It's just that
exactly.
you don't understand what
Mm-hmm.
it is and you don't know how to put it into writing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what people struggle with the most
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I think too.
Okay, Sonia has a question. Sonia said, "How long did it take you to get to where you are from healthcare to agile delivery?"
I would say the journey itself from healthcare, I made the decision when I was pregnant with my son. I was like, okay, I'm pregnant with this boy. I know what's going to come very soon. It's inevitable. So I need to start to make that transition now. So while I was pregnant, that was when I started my course. I did like a Scrum Master boot camp. So my journey was more like, okay, healthcare. I would say everything took me like within a year. So after I had my son, obviously I was still at home doing it. I did not like I started looking for a job immediately. So I was at home for about 9 months, and when I after 9 months like this, I was just I was ready. I was even doing my job applications when I was my son was very very small. So I was doing job applications. I attended my interview where I got my first job while I was my son was probably like 7 or 8 months old then, but I know I started my job when I think he was like 10 months old or so. So that was, I left him, I took him to nursery, and it's like, I need to be serious with my life. So it was a very difficult decision, but I was happy that I made that decision. And it's there now, it's playing. I'm here now, I'm smiling. So I'm happy I didn't wait. I would say it took me roughly around a year to actually fully transition because obviously of the situation of things, but also like knowing, learning, time, and seriousness altogether, plus the exam again I had to write. So it was off and on.
Okay, I have a question now. Right?
Hmm.
Would you say project management is something that favors women?
Kind of. I think naturally we're very patient. We can multitask a lot. You will see what a woman lifting one child, using the other hand to cook, and then commanding one child on how to clean the house. Literally, we easily multitask. I know a lot of men are not great multitaskers. They have to finish one thing before they do another thing. And I've seen that in all the people I've known in my life. They don't know how to do two or three things at the same time. They need to finish one and then move to another. So because we are great multitaskers, we're also very empathetic. We are, I think we're more emotionally intelligent than men. For any man listening, I'm very sorry. But I think we are more emotionally we are more emotionally intelligent, we are more empathetic with people. And as a project manager, you be a servant, you be a leader, you wear multiple hats. One day you're spoon feeding them and telling them, oh sorry, how can I help you? The next day you're like, I need this tomorrow. Like I'm not no joke. So it's like those two is like bipolar. Today you're nice, tomorrow you're strict. And I feel like a woman plays that role very well. And then it's most of the developers that you're working with are men. There is a hidden skill that we women have that we know how to kind of get into people's head, and not in a bad way, but we kind of know how to get people to do things. I don't know how we do it, but we just do it.
Do it.
And I don't know how. So it makes sense. I don't know. I think it's if a woman fits very easily into that role because naturally we are like that than a man having to be babying other men or other people babying them and trying. Yeah.
Now that sounds weird.
Like, I haven't come across many men. funny enough, though, Scrum Masters, I'll say how many of them were men? Yeah, oh my God, we're only three women and about four men actually. So if I'm thinking about it now, I've seen some male Scrum Masters, quite a number of them. They were more than women. We were just, yeah, three women actually, and five men. See, so I don't know. I think it just depends. But I know it suits women more. It's easier.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Any questions from the comment section? Before we get to the comment section, let's ask our last question for the day.
Okay.
What helped you break in, and what would you do differently if you had to start all over again?
All right. So what
I think
helped
this
me?
is this is question in one.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. What helped me break in was definitely my I did not give up, I will not lie. I had a lot of guts, and I had a lot of I really want to do this. There was a lot of fire and hunger, and I think that was one of the things that really helped me
Hunger,
because
hunger.
yeah, I was very hungry. Oh. I was like, this money I want to make it. I was very hungry. Another thing I would say is the people that I surrounded myself with was really helpful because, as I think I've said in my listener, I used to, as I was doing healthcare, I was also braiding hair, and God made me get access to women that were doing very very well for themselves. These women, and the funny thing, every one of them are married women. They had children, so it's not like they are single women living their lives. No, they all had husbands. They all had children, and
And
I'm
they are
like,
doing this well.
yes, and I'm like, and I'm hearing the money, the car that they would drive, they would park. I will, and then the one that stood out for me was when a recruiter called a lady and said, "Oh, 500 per day," and she was like, "Oh, I don't do 500 per day. I do from 650 per day," and I'm like, "Eh, what do you
Sis, put
mean?"
me on, put me on,
I
put me on,
I was
put
like,
me on.
people make money like that in this country. I know not everybody was suffering, but I just did not. My mind was not that exposed as to the fact that some people were really raking in 12, $15,000 monthly, and it shocked me. So I was like, this is a whole new world that I have not even explored. So I think surrounding myself with those people, seeing how they are living, and I used to now see their status, I'd be like, wow. There's a particular mentor of mine that also young lady, she's in her 30s. She's also married. She's got two children. She's constantly climbing the career ladder. Today, she's been promoted to one thing. At the age of 30, being the only black woman known by the CEO of a mega insurance company, like she is huge. Literally, her face is plastered all over their company's website. And I'm like,
Wow.
how is she doing off the exact? And she used to start her journey as a project manager. Now she's a program director for one of the leading insurance firms in not just in the UK, in the world. And I'm like, how is she doing it? So he was just looking at her constantly, and just I try to follow her blueprint. Like I stalk her LinkedIn page every time. Anytime she does one new thing, I'm like, well, let me see what Chisom has done today. Oh yeah, let me go and copy it. It's so funny that when my fiance wanted to get my ring, it was I said him, I want a blue ring. Why? Because Chisom has a blue ring. It's funny, but it's just one of
It's
those
a
things because
positive influence.
exactly. It's a positive influence. When I started dressing to work, I'm like, oh, look how Chisom is dressing to work. That's how I also want to be dressing when I finally get my job. And I'm doing exactly it. Now, sometimes I even go to a page for fashion inspiration, which is funny. But then it's just surrounding myself with people that are like minded and people that are already far ahead of me because I always have somewhere to look up to. And my friends in my circle as well. I'm not saying that I'm friends with people who are auto healthcare assistants and things like that, but I ensure that they're extremely positive people and they're people who are striving for more. Like they also want to do better with themselves. I also have a friend who is a lecturer, she's a doctor, she's traveling all around for seminars. Today you speak, where are you? Oh, I'm going to Spain and have a lecture. Oh, I'm going to this and I have an article to write. So it's nice to have like that mix of friends and everyone is doing one thing or another. It just keeps pushing you like, okay, it's nice for me to be
You
able
don't
to
need
do
to
this.
slack. You can't be
Yeah,
you can't be the one at the back seat. No.
that you can, and it's not competition. It's not like everyone is competing with themselves. It's just that it's just seeing you're just seeing every woman beside you excel in whatever it is that even if they are not like pursuing ambition, if it's content they are pursuing, you can see they are putting their blood, sweat, and say if they are homemakers, you see that they are doing the best with their homes and trying to, tend to their kids are always so it's just surrounding yourself with people that you know that They are doing well. I know that we can all grow together. They're pushing you to do better for yourself. So I'll say those are the two major things that helped me. The fact that I needed money. And number two,
The
I had like,
hunger.
yeah. And then you also asked me a second question, which I think I forgot.
Yeah, the second question is what would you do differently if you had to start all over again now? Like you just landed in UK now. How what would you
Yeah.
do differently and how would you yeah.
Yeah, I would say what I would have done the moment I landed into this country, I would have first of all researched the opportunities that were around me. Because when I came in, obviously, the first job my person told me to get was like, oh, try healthcare job. It's the quickest you can get, which I did. And the next thing was like, oh, maybe you have to become a nurse. And I was like, oh, everybody says that's the natural way. Everybody tells you, oh, there's money in nursing. Once you get to the UK, become a nurse. I
Yeah,
was like,
we
you know
hear that
what?
a lot.
Exactly. But the nurses are crying. If you check on TikTok, you see how they are crying. And how many times you have to pack shifts just to collect how many £1,000 home at the end of the month.
Yeah,
So it's
and
not,
not just that, I do hear some of them say they slump because of no rest,
yeah.
no yeah, those kind of things.
It's a lot, to be honest. So I was thinking maybe that's what I had to do as well. So I'll have to explore the resources around me. And necessarily does not even have to be project management. It could just be just to see what kind of jobs are around me that I want to do based off of my, so if you're someone who likes healthcare, maybe you like nursing and things like that, that's fine. But there are other people who are nurses but are not working in the hospital. They are desk nurses. I happen to work for an industry like that where our nurses do not work in the hospital. So look at what areas that you can see. Are there desk nursing? If it's nursing, maybe you don't want to work in the ward. Any way you want to grow like professionally, look at the areas, opportunities that are open to you around you. Don't be also be scared to start small. Don't let imposter syndrome, don't let it scare you. And see, another thing is confidence. All of us, we don't really have, a lot of us, I would say a lot of Nigerians, I would say 7 out of 10 of us don't have confidence. We have gra, like, yeah, don't try me, I'm Nigerian. But self confidence, we don't have it. 7 out of 10 of us suffer from low self esteem, and I think it's because of the environments that we've grown up in, whereby if you're not the gra person, people would automatically just want to do anyhow with you. And I think because of the African culture of parents not always giving children room to speak and parents being always right, a lot of us suffer from low self esteem and lack of confidence. And to excel in this marketplace is you need to have huge confidence. Like you need to know yourself and be sure of
You're
who you are.
audacious.
You need to be honest, you need to be, so it would be, do not be scared, try and start having some high self-esteem and start having self-confidence in yourself. Like remind yourself of who you are, don't let anything scare you from dreaming. And this country is a dream country of opportunities. If you look left and right, you see a lot of people doing well, even though they don't, it's not as flashy as the way people do it in Nigeria, but you see people living a really good life as well. So just do your thing, be very confident, build your skills on confidence, public speaking, because
The
interviews, all of,
soft
yeah,
skills.
you need to,
The
yeah. So
soft
those are, that's
skills.
literally, yeah, this really important. Those are, I would say those are like the main advice that I'll give. And start early, don't wait. Don't say I will do it next month. Don't say I'll do it next 2 months. The moment you see that course or do say anything that you want to do and you see somebody doing it, just do it. Just go for it. What's the
Start.
worst that can happen to you? You will not do it well, Abby. You can't do it again. So it's not, yeah, yes, now you fail it or you have to do it again. That's just do it. Do it. Some will say do it scared, do it afraid. Just do it. Yeah.
True, true. I can remember how my first remote work ended. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. No, I'm not. But here I am. I'm still doing it all over again. I'm still doing project management. I'm still even taking some courses right now. I'm going
Well
for
done.
certifications. I'm doing so many things, and I'm like,
Well
okay, this one has to pay me. No, this time around is the hunger. Is the
done.
hunger that is dealing with me right now. I'm like, no, this has to just pay me. I have
Mm-hmm.
spent so much money that I cannot just come now and stop. Like I can't just come now and say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to start or jump onto the next shiny thing that is
Mm.
trending. Because we do have all these high paying, high income skills every year, and you see
Yeah.
people talking about it. Take this, take that, take that, take that, and I'm like, okay, hold on first. Let me
let this one
It's
I'm doing pay me. It just has to. It just has to,
exactly.
right? So, and coming to that, I have another question, right? As an agile delivery manager, did you have or did you feel like you needed tech skills to get into the role?
No, not really, to be honest, because I know that my expertise is in management, managing teams, managing projects, managing delivery. So that's literally what it is. It's management. That's what I'm doing. I don't need to have the tech skills. But one thing is that I am curious, and if I don't know something, I ask questions. I
I'll
always tell people,
ask.
even when
Yes.
they are say all the Kubernetes, all this, I don't. Sorry, guys, can you explain what you mean to me? Or we have a hot fix. I'm like, what's a hot fix? Tell me, what do you mean by that? Like, tell me what it is. So, and I'm not scared to ask because they don't expect me to know everything. Everyone
To
is coming
know
from
exactly,
different industries,
exactly.
operate different ways. So, I don't think that's a deal breaker. Or that should stop anyone from actually
Anyone from
just going to.
going.
Yeah, it shouldn't stop anybody.
Exactly. I think someone asked that question on one of my videos recently, and I had to make another video about it. So
Um,
many people think that if you want to work in project management as an agile delivery manager, program manager, project manager, even scrum master, that you need to have the technical skills. And
yeah,
I used to tell them, it's you must not. In fact, you don't even have to. I think half the time, majority of the PMs who are in IT or who are in tech, what they know is what they've learned over the years. If you keep
exactly.
having a meeting with your team and every time they're talking about a particular thing, you subconsciously just know that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You subconsciously just know that, okay, this is how Figma works. Yeah, this is how it works. This is the design people, this is
Exactly.
how you guys do it. Codes, this is
Mhm.
how they do it over time.
Exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
that's also why it has to do with years of experience. I tell
Mm-hmm.
people, so if you do it 1 year and jump out, if you jump into another thing, you become a beginner in that thing. You're no
That's
longer an, you become a
exactly.
beginner because if you jump from this to this and in this you are beginning to turn into an intermediate level, then you jump out and jump to another thing. You're not jumping into intermediate, you're jumping to beginner level. So you will not gather that experience that you need. And most times it can be depressing. It discourages people from project management as well because they feel like I need to know how a tech. When they hear, oh, you work in tech, you work as a they feel like you need to know how to code, you need to know how to design, all those type of things. I'm happy as well that you are also confirming it that, oh, you don't actually need it.
No,
you don't
no,
actually you don't
no.
actually need it. And I think as a PM, you also need to be someone who asks a lot of questions. It helps as well. You
Yeah,
also need to be someone who asks a lot of questions, because and how you ask it also matters, because if you don't ask, you don't know. And if you
exactly.
don't know, it might be that thing that you don't know that would cause a
That will
problem
come up
tomorrow.
exactly.
That will cause a problem tomorrow. So we have a question from She Sky. So guys, come in with your questions. We'll be ending the live very soon. This is meant to be an hour live. Okay, so we'll
Mm.
be ending the live very soon. So throw in your questions and anything that you have to say. So She Sky asks, can you please recommend websites or any UK organization that can offer trainings and certifications in PM?
Okay. Websites would just be the regular Coursera, Udemy. Organizations don't really train, unfortunately, except maybe you get on the job, they like you, they can decide to say, okay, oh, you need this. Like my PMP exam now. I haven't done PNP. I don't even have a PNP. So I was just telling my manager, oh, he was like, oh, what certification do you want to do this financial year? This financial year is ending this June, madam. What certification do you want? I'm like, oh, I would like to do PNP. I haven't done PNP. Like, okay, let's go pay for PNP. But that's because you're already in the system. You're already working with the company. But on a
Yeah.
normal, yeah, but on a normal day, companies may it's very difficult to find an organization. So Udemy, Coursera, you can check on there, get some trainings there, and then you get your certification.
Okay. Okay. So any other question? She Sky, did you get that? Any other question at all? I don't think companies in Nigeria do that for us. So I
They
don't
don't
think
do
they
it.
trained
No
you.
training budget. No. Are you sure they don't have
Huh?
training budget? Wow. That's
I don't
I
think
was even
though
thinking
though
of it to have to pay
some
myself.
companies train
Wow.
though. Some companies train, right? But not for management. most times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not for management. Though it depends on how big the company is as well. There are big companies as well that take their managers out to Lagos State Business School, just pay for them to get trained. But I think the last time I got that information was a particular company got all their managers, both low level and to the high level,
That's
took them to
lovely.
a particular called someone to train them for 1 week training actually. But
Wow.
not all companies have the budget
Budget,
for
yes, of
that.
course.
Yeah, I think not all companies have the budget for that. You have to know how big the company is for them to even be able to do that in the first place. Okay, thank you so much, Simi. Thank you so much. Now I know
Well,
all these people that are telling me, "Oh, come to UK, come to UK. This things are easy here," and they will not tell me. They
it's
will
not
not.
that bad, to be honest. Like once you're able to get in, I think you will enjoy because obviously the money is 100% better. The work culture, the work environment is good. If you're able to get into a good company, like the company I work for right now, they are so amazing. You know, when you have a manager that just wants you to grow in this space,
Grow.
you have people who believe in you and they constantly tell you, oh, see me, well done, you're doing this well. Okay, these are areas where I think you can improve or you should improve. It's really good. Like when you have people like that. Not all, I won't say all companies are that great, but I think I've just been blessed to be in one
Have
that
that
would,
one.
yeah, but and again is they always have training budgets, which is good. Every company has training budgets in this country and managers as
Wow.
well. They have training budgets. So they need to if you request for it, they should pay for it and allow you do.
Wow.
It's just that maybe there may just be some restrictions like, oh, you cannot leave after 6 months or you cannot leave before 6 months, you won't get education and run away or
And
something
when
like
they'll pay for you, you will now run.
that. You're not going to collect plenty money somewhere else. They will not be happy.
Yeah, that kind of a thing. Okay, someone asked, which certifications would you recommend for someone to get that are recognized in the UK? Because I know for this one, there are, I think, some certifications are location based.
Yeah,
So, which
yeah.
are the ones that you can recommend?
Prince 2 is a very much UK certification. They like Prince 2 a lot in this country, but me, I don't
Why
have it.
though? I've been very curious. Why?
I don't think they are the ones. I don't know if they are the
What's so
ones that
special
set.
about Prince 2?
I think they are the one. I think it was set up in UK and Europe, so that's why it's like this is our own
Okay.
our situation. Yeah, I think that's why PMP is more America and the rest of the world. So I think that's the thing. So Prince
Yeah,
Two was set
PMI
for
is America.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why. But I don't have a Prince Two because I think Prince Two is more suited to people who work in waterfall environment. As opposed, they only just added Agile into Prince Two not too long ago. So it's not suited for my own environment. So I wouldn't get it. I'll just go get my PMP instead. Just yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, guys. I hope you got that African stars. Do you have any more questions? Do we have any more questions? If not, please let's drop. If you don't have a question, just drop an emoji, your favorite emoji. If you don't have any question at all, drop your favorite emoji. If you have no questions, just drop your favorite emoji. But if you still have a question, do well to ask your question. You're very, very much free to ask a question because we'll be closing this live in the next 3 minutes. Okay, guys. Oh, Sarah. So, if you are dropping your emojis, drop one thing you learned from this particular live. What did you learn from this particular live? What did you learn from this gist of okay, the work environment is very different from what we have? What did you learn? Because me, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I think Nigerians are also more like getting acquainted with or changing their work culture as well. These
Which
days
is
or
amazing.
some new innovations and some new companies are now allowing their staff to call their bosses by their names.
Oh,
They are trying these days. Yeah, they are trying these days.
that's
They are
very
trying
good.
these days. You come into the meetings and they will tell you, oh, you call the person, let's say Mrs. Cynthia, they'll be like, oh, no, please just call me Cynthia. I'm okay with it. I'm like,
Amazing.
hmm,
I am happy to hear
okay,
that.
okay. Okay. All right. Ginika said, thank you so much, Cynthia, for organizing this impactful session. Thank you, Simi, for your time and sharing your ideas with
Thank
us.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you. Oh, Sarah said she got being very confident as a person. Yes, I'm not even going to lie.
Uh,
It's not even going to be. In fact, she said it all because I believe that in interviews, if you're not confident, it will show, and then you will not get that job. You will not get it. My first interview, I was shaking like I wanted to pee on my pants.
uh,
I
okay,
was
that's
shaking so
how
bad. I had like three ring lights, one here, one here, one here, just on my
okay.
face. I was there. I did makeup for my first interview. I've not said this though. I've not. Yeah, I did makeup for my first interview. I was like, okay, I work corporate. I was just like, okay, I'm ready. And still yet, I flopped the interview. I was just shaking. They'll ask me a question. I forgot my middle name. Yeah, they asked me my full name. I forgot my middle name. I think I was too tensed. I practiced actually before I was using my
Yeah, I
mirror. I
think
used my
over practice,
friend.
I think over practicing sometimes can just finish somebody.
Perfect. Yeah, I over practiced. I think that was what affected me. I actually over practiced. I practiced with my mirror. I practiced with my friend. Even before that same day, I still practiced. And then when they asked me my full name, I forgot my middle name. It was my friend was not even making it easy. She was just over there laughing at me. It was not easy that day. So I sure do know that being confident enough will help you through um interviews. It will help you through
Yeah,
interviews. And then for me, another thing I picked is you are a manager, not a techie. Let me put it that way. You're there to
definitely.
manage, you're not there to code, and you're not there to design, you're there to manage. That's what they employed you for. If they needed somebody to code, they would have gone for a developer.
Exactly.
But they needed a manager, so that's why they called you. All right, African Star said last one. What type of questions do they ask in interviews? Is it like scenario based or something else? I think scenario. Have you? What do you think
Majority.
about scenario based? Majority
Oh,
of them are scenario based.
oh yeah, majority of them are scenario based. I would say
Oh
maybe 7 out of
wow,
10. The first one, tell me about yourself. Number two, why do you want to work with us? Number three, they just get straight in. So,
wow.
how do you manage conflicting priorities? Can you tell us a time when you've had to do that? And then the next one, oh, when you were leading a distinct kind of project, when so and so happened, how did you handle it? Yeah,
I think that's
that's how.
very different from the kind of scenario I had in mind. There is this particular interview I had. The man gave like a full blown scenario. Like this is not like, oh, what did you do? It was more
Mhm.
like acting. The man just said, the recruiter just said, oh, act as if you are talking to the team right now. Don't reply me. Don't answer a question.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, that one is
they
different.
just gave a scenario and said, be the person that you're applying for. Let's see
But
what you do.
yeah, there are some of
It,
them like that where they
it
will
got me
put.
confused. It got
Yeah,
a lot of persons confused in the interview as
yeah,
well.
yeah. There are some like that where they would, but they will tell you beforehand. This one's not just do it over. They will tell
No,
you,
they
oh,
did. They didn't tell beforehand. They just said it there. Like they didn't. They said if they had told you beforehand, you would have prepared.
oh,
But if you're a natural and you know what you're doing, you will just go through with it.
oh,
It
that's great.
was,
Well, they don't.
it
Thank
was not
goodness they
good.
don't do that. They don't do that here. If they need you to do a task during an interview, because I know one of my mentees got one like that, but she didn't get to that stage of interview. They told her the three stages, and the second stage was going to be they'll put her with the team. They'll set up a scenario as to maybe something is going on or something happened, and then they will tell her to step in, act as the role of a scrum master, and how she was going to handle that particular scenario. If it happened, that was what it was. So they said they would give her the task maybe like a day before for her to prepare, maybe like a few minutes before. But companies would at least give you some time because they know how you just throw something at somebody and expect them to, that you're setting somebody up for failure anyway.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think that's what they had so many people and all of us. It was not an individual interview. The moment I joined the interview meeting link and I did not see just myself, I saw like seven other people. I knew that okay, they just wanted to get rid of people as fast as possible.
People that can.
That's just what I want. Yeah, so I just thought about it that way. Okay. Ginika said, I learned to be assertive and to remain focused. Yes, please remain focused. I and be hungry too, please. Nobody is saying that they want to be hungry. People don't want money. Nobody's saying Uh, she said, I learned to be confident in myself and to just start early. Even if I fail, I start again. Yes, yes,
Very
yes,
true.
please. It's good. If you fail, start again. If you fail, start again. There are so many companies. I love to read about the companies that failed so many times and then now
That, yeah,
they're so they're so big. So sometimes if you try something the first time and you get it that same first time, I tend to think like along the way I'll still fail in this thing. I just feel like that's how I see it. If I do something the first time and it's just going smoothly, I'll be like, when do I get to that point where I have to
so
fall to
good.
learn?
That
It's
means
still
you're
going to be
so
true.
good. That means you're just so good. Like, wow, I mean, I didn't know I was that good at this. Okay, let's do another one. It's good though.
Yeah, but I also think that failing helps you learn the more. So
Yeah,
if you do things and it works smooth, that means you basically don't have anything to learn in that thing. So you need to
yeah,
find something more challenging that you need to like, yeah, to put it on top and then yeah,
yeah.
something like that. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys, for
You're
joining.
welcome.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you so much, Simi. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. So, if you guys are not following her on LinkedIn, please go and follow her on LinkedIn. Follow myself on LinkedIn as well. Follow on TikTok and also share as well. Okay, you can share this particular video to people. It's already here on YouTube, so you can share it to everyone so they can come over and watch it as well. All right. Thank you so much, Simi. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
you. Bye. Thanks everyone. It was lovely meeting you
Yeah.
all. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you. Okay, guys. Yeah, thank you so much everyone that joined. Thank you so much, guys. Let's prepare for the one of next month as well. This is more like a ritual that I'm doing for every person who is new to project management. So if you just joined project management, you're thinking of being a project manager, I decided to do this for you and I. Right, this is more like an avenue for me to bring in people who are already in the game, people who are senior project managers, people who have been doing these things way before you and I decided to join, to come and talk to us, to come and share their experiences and to give the tips as well. Because they say you must not experience something to learn, right? You can also learn from other people's experience, right? So I call them to come and learn from their own experience as well, just like the same way a lot of you learned from my own experience of not paying for any course because you can get it for free on YouTube or any place at all. Okay, don't waste money. That's the same way I also learn from these people because they've been in the game way longer than I have been. So stay tuned, subscribe, tell people to join, like this life as well, and then prepare to join the one for July as well. The one for July will be amazing. Trust me. Okay. I'm bringing another senior PM, and I'm not going to tell you guys the topic now, but stay tuned on my pages so that you can get the topic as well. Okay. We also have the one for August. We'll be having this monthly ritual. I call it my monthly ritual. Right, so we're having this monthly event till whenever, okay, and once in a while I will also be coming live here for us to talk, okay, just to tell you guys on different way. I think I will do that next month. We'll be having another live on how you can make money outside being a project manager as well, okay. Yeah, I'll be making more much more announcement around that, but this is more like a tip for those who are already here. So let's get prepared, okay. Thank you guys for joining and catch you guys later. Bye.